Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. You made it, guys. Today is Friday. If we can make it through to the end of the day, right? For most of us, the weekend you have off. But for some of us, we work 7 days a week, so we really don't see any days different. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought today we'd talk about how sometimes being our own worst critic can hurt us instead of help us. And if this sounds like you, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Friday, November 21st of 2025. So what am I talking about when I say being your own worst critic? I mean, either you are or you aren't. I am. You know, I always feel like I don't put in enough effort. I don't do good enough. If anything goes wrong, I discount everything else quick. And it takes a while to get it back. And this is all coming from a guy that has a firm belief in God. You put up stuff that are out of your control, but that doesn't stop you from being your own worst critic and overthinking things. And when you're your own worst critic, you're the last person to ask for help, right? That's the tendency, is that you're going to work harder than anybody around you because that's just in your blood. Anything that you do, you're going to discount, even when it's really good things that you've accomplished. Instead of taking 5 minutes and saying, you attaboys, and you did it, you're already on to the next to try to do even better, stronger, faster, what have you. And I always thought that that pretty much was where I got my drive to be in business, was because of being my own worst critic. But actually, looking back now, as you get older, you start looking back over the years and you try to give people advice. And I find when I'm giving advice, I'm giving myself advice. I don't know if that amounts to anything. But no, if you're discounting everything that's going on, whether it be you're in a relationship with your spouse and you feel like you're inadequate, you're not doing enough, you're not providing enough for the family, you're not going to enough outings, this can really steamroll because you keep adding crap to it as you're going, right? It isn't just one single topic that you're focused on. It's all of them. And then you become overwhelmed. And the problem with that is you don't see all the good that you're doing. If you're so focused on the lesser things, then that tells me you're not focused on what the good things are that are going on in your life. And I'm case in point. I was like that for years. It was just go, 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 go. And I've said this before, that when I was in work mode, that was 7 days a week, I missed out on a lot of ball games, birthday parties. I mean, you can't get those back. So what's the better way? The better way is to come up with some different things to kind of quell that side of it without taking medications or drinking. That sit down and look at all the good stuff that's going on. Look at your kids. Are they healthy? Are they happy? Look at your spouse. Is there things that you can do that can make her or him more happy? And one of the biggest things that really shocked me was when I started asking family and friends when I need help and stuff, was all these inadequacies that I thought I had, being my own worst critic, they didn't see them. Why didn't they see them? It's because it wasn't actually happening. I was my own worst critic. I could never do it good enough. No matter how good it was, I had to make it better. I was never content. And that word content is not a bad word. If you want to climb that mountain, what do? Do you just throw on a duffel bag and start hoofing your fat ass up that hill? No. You're going to do some training, or you should. And in the process of training, you're going to find out that at certain plateaus, you're going to stop, rest, and maybe set up a tent, make a meal, get some energy in you, get a good night's sleep, and then take the next leg of the mountain. That's life. But when you're your own worst critic, you don't have those layovers where you get something to eat, get some sleep, because you're still pushing. You're the guy that threw on the backpack, and he's bound and determined he's going to climb that mountain all in one jaunt. And it's just not feasible. He's probably the one that 3/4 of the way up is still frozen in ice because he didn't plan well. Being your own worst critic doesn't allow you downtime to enjoy what is really going on, because you're striving to be better and better. And it affects work, because when you look at something and you think customers aren't happy with you, and you may have had a bad customer in the morning, or a customer that had other things going on that came in, was grumpy, and now it's kind of rocked your whole day, right? Because now you're focused on that the customer is upset with me. I've had people upset with me. And if it's for good reason, then we address it. If not, not my problem anymore. I'm content. I've got off that. Got to get to the top of the mountain and freeze my ass off. Let's just do a plateau, stop, have some weenies, whatever you want, pork and beans, and get some rest, and then do the next leg. And if you know how my legs work, I couldn't even make it with a backpack the first 20 feet. I'd have to have somebody carry it. But where I lost out was during that whole time period, I never asked for any help. And it wasn't because I didn't need it, because I really did. It's because I didn't think for some reason that I was worthy of, and it would make me feel less than if I was unable to do it myself. If that sounds familiar, welcome to the rat race, right? So what does it take? I mean, for me, it took a heart blockage and everything else, to wake up and smell the coffee. What's it going to take for you? My kids were already out of the house and grown and had their kids. Trying to make up for it now. It's been a great year, of not being so hard on myself, even though I do still get down on myself about things. But I'm more willing to ask for help, because at this point I know I need help. Instead of wishing for help, I physically can't do a lot of things that I used to do. And that's okay, because most of us that are our own worst critic are always the first one to help somebody else. Kind of ironic, huh? If you have any type of faith in God, even when you're discounting everything that you're doing in a positive way, He's not. He's trying to tell you, look at all these good things. Look at your kids. Look at you got a house, got a car, life is good. Don't let these little bumps in the road throw you sideways. Your body needs downtime. And if that means working 5 days a week or 4 10 hours, whatever, doing your hours, and then having weekends off, then do that. What I was doing was I was working my 5, 15, 16 hours a day, and then doing the same thing on the weekend, and then trying to catch up with AKA home projects in between. And the home projects are everything from the household, to the cattle, to what have you. I'm a busybody, and that is good for me. I find if I stay busy, I can't think as much. We talked the other day, that we're splitting firewood, getting firewood for the shop. I tried doing it with the boys, and the boys are so fast, and your tendency is you try to keep up with them. And you've got your son is 20 years younger than you are, and Zach is another 10 years younger than that. So, yeah, back when I was their age, I could have kept up, but I can't now. So if I'm working with them, I get tired out real quick. But if you let me take my chainsaws and my tractor and my wagon, I'll go over and I will come out with a load of firewood. It may take a couple hours, but I'm going to cut it, split it, put it in the wagon, stack it, bring it out, and have it ready to unload for the following morning at the shop. As long as I can see where I'm accomplishing something, I don't get down on myself anymore. I've learned to praise myself by saying, you know what? You're doing awesome. And I'm here to say that even though you may not feel it as well, but you're doing awesome. So how do we kind of break the habit? Well, hopefully you don't have a quadruple heart bypass, but the best way is to recognize it for what it really is. Are you actually having people get down on you, or are you getting down on yourself? Do people around you feel you're inadequate, or do you feel you're inadequate? When everybody else quits for the day, do you quit for the day too and just go sit and relax? Or do you feel you have to keep going? Any project you do the people around you feel like you did a shoddy job, or is that you that feels like you did a shoddy job? If we can identify it, most of us are going to say, I don't know, well, I think that they didn't think I did a good job or this. But the fact remains, it really isn't them, is it? It's you. And if you can come to terms with that and say, you know what, I need to give myself a break. I really do. I need to give myself a break from life. I need to just take a day, 2 days a week, and find some things. I just posted on Facebook about why is it as we get older we give up on a lot of things that we used to love to do. And the biggest reason is because we tell ourselves we don't have any time anymore. And I said in the post, you and only you control when and how you spend your day. And what I have found is if you take and spend part of your day doing something that you enjoy every so often, it will leave you refreshed and you'll have more energy, more stamina to come back in and do twice as much work than if you kept pushing yourself. Because it's like your battery operated lawnmower. It can only go so long before it starts running out of power, right? But if you go so long, stop, put it in the recharger, doing something that you enjoy doing, and then taking it back out and putting it in the lawnmower, it's ready to go. And it's not running at half capacity because it doesn't have enough juice in it. Our bodies are the same way, and our minds are the same way. If we don't have enough juice, it actually gets worse. We become even worse critics. Because now we can start to see where we're slipping. We're not doing good enough. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. So what I've learned is if you take time out once a week and do things that you enjoy doing. I don't care whether it's painting on a fresh canvas, fishing, hunting, skiing, snowmobiling. To each their own. You know which one it is, and my suggestion is to try that. Have some downtime and do something that you used to love to do. Just let the mind and body refresh itself. So in the comments, how are you guys your own worst critic? If you are. If you aren't, then that's great too. But I think even the best of us get down on ourselves even when it's not the truth. Even when we're approaching problems out in the shop, if we overcomplicate things like we were talking yesterday, by becoming our own worst critic, doing a job, you'll spend too much time trying to think of what's the best way to do the job and not just do the job. If you already know how to do the job, why are you spending 2 to 3 hours overthinking what's the best way, and then in the end you end up doing it the way you always did? So I mean, you just lost all that time because you're overthinking. You're being your worst critic. And I've seen guys, no matter what they did, they weren't content with it. And those guys were stellar guys, but they still never saw the value and worth in themselves that the rest of us did, of how totally awesome they were. Give that some thought today when you're tooling around in the shop on a Friday and you're looking at what am I going to do for this weekend and stuff. If you can identify that you are your own worst critic, then at least gives you a window in to start trying to change some of these habits that had developed over the years. Growing up, I always thought that it was a sign of weakness if I had to ask anybody for help. And as I grew older, I found out it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. That you have the ability to ask others to help you. But it can't be a one-way street. This is where a lot of people screw up, is they get so used to asking for help. But when the other person needs help, you're always busy. No. If you ask for help and you get help, if that person needs help, you need to figure out a way to help that person out. That's what keeps life going around and the quality of life. God gave us the greatest gift on earth, and that is life. And it's precious, and we can't waste it. Because there's no guarantee that you or I are going to be here tomorrow. I will be, because my videos will live on for infinity. They'll probably be posted somewhere in the 30, 20 year. This is what not to do. So on that note, you guys have a great Friday. Not a long video today. We got the tractor back together, had the shifting issue. We got the farm all in, drained the rear end in it. We've got that fire, and we just got to get gas. We forgot gas. I went to Tupper Lake yesterday to visit my wife, the nursing home, and we were supposed to stop on the way back, but we didn't. We just kept right on going. And if Claude thought that I was going to remember that, then I got news for him. So you guys have a great Friday.